just go to the courthouse though, honestly. This is so embarrassing.
Are you gonna like not tell anyone?
Courthouse marriage vlog. I feel like a teacher setting up the Zoom. Like, all right, is this good? Hi guys, it's Adria. Welcome back to Dontbeasadpanda. Welcome back to my life. Holy crap, I've been gone for 2 months, 3 months. So today's video, I'm going to do a get ready with me. I'm gonna put some makeup on my face. We're just gonna catch up. I actually already filmed this video last week, a get ready with me catch up, but I feel like I overshared too much in some aspects and then I like undershared in more important aspects. So we're gonna keep it to the point today. Let's just get into it. So to start, I'm just gonna put some cream on. So to stay more on topic, I'm not going to talk about what products I'm using. If you are desperate to know, comment and I'll let you know. I might do it by habit. That's okay. So today we're just gonna talk about where I've been. Did I quit YouTube? Am I married yet? What am I doing? What's going on? All of that and more. So Christmas passed and everything. Y'all, I had an okay Christmas. I think the seasonal depression was just too much this winter. That's why I'm like praying to, we pray to Punxsutawney Phil in Pennsylvania. Like, please end winter. I cannot wait for the spring. We just got this huge snowstorm. Brandon and I built a snowman, which is fun. But I'm like, girl, I need to get out of the winter. I normally like it, but I'm just like, I'm not into it this year at all. My skin looks so bad today. I want to get like a medical grade chemical peel. I don't really know how the process of that goes or what that costs or anything, but like, yeah, I feel like my skin's just kind of like beyond help as far as the texture goes. But anyway, where have I been? It's like, girl, I haven't seen you for 3 months and you're talking about your skin. So like, let's catch up. Where have I disappeared to? So I sort of hit a wall. I know I posted a video, it was like 2 videos ago, mental health update. I sort of went more into depth and I don't really want to go in depth today because I don't want every time I post a video for it to just be about, hey guys, I have anxiety, so, because that can get old pretty fast. I don't normally do my foundation next, but my skin looks really green, so I'm just gonna do it. I just can't wait for the pandemic to be over. And I saw something that really sort of changed the way I think about it. I saw a TikTok of I think he was a psychiatrist saying, you know, if you had a magic wand and you could wave the magic wand and tomorrow you'd wake up and the pandemic would be over, you could picture yourself like in a crowd of people or like someone shaking your hand. If the thought of that freaks you out, then that's like a trauma response. And I'm like, oh, I think I did too much foundation. Do I look crazy? I think at first in the pandemic, I was really just sort of like, please get me out of this. But now I'm sort of just like, oh, I don't even know how I would act if the pandemic just magically ended. I feel like it would still take me some time. That's where my worries sort of stem from with the whole thing, because I'm like, on the one hand, of course I want it to be over, but then on the other hand, it's like, well, then I have no excuses to be afraid anymore, right? And this looks kind of yellow on camera. Whoops. So I'm trying to like set little goals for myself as far as like mental health with health, not becoming a full-fledged germaphobe as I feel myself slowly becoming. Like the other day, Brandon and I went to the grocery store. I just didn't want to go inside. It wasn't even that crowded. It wasn't anything like that. I just like, I waited in the car at first and then I was just sort of sitting there and I'm like, you know what? If I can't do it today, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it. So I just put my mask on, got out of the car and just went for it. And I met up with him and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm kind of proud of myself because that was really hard in the midst of feeling like I wanted to cry, but I did it anyway. So, you know, like I am trying to do things like that, situations that make me uncomfortable off the bat. I am thankful that I'm not still at my retail job, which I never even like went into detail about all of that. I don't even really want to tell y'all where I worked. It was just not fun for me. Retail just sucks as a whole. I mean, that could be a whole video in and of itself. How working with customers is like, what in the hell? Somebody end me. So I'm thankful in that aspect that I've, been able to, do YouTube as my job amidst this whole thing, even though I took a 2 month. You don't get to take a 2-month vacation from your job. So that was my bad. And I didn't even take a break intentionally. It was sort of just like the time got away from me. It wasn't I made this conscious decision, because if I was going to, I would have let y'all know. It was just sort of like I spiraled. I just sort of needed the time. I feel like so much of YouTube can be performative. Like, you can tell sometimes when people just don't want to do it and they're just doing it to do it. My hair looks so much better from this side. I wish I was facing this direction, but I just got this table. My mom just gave me like this card table to do this project at, because she got me this DIY build your own house thing. That's gonna be a whole project. I tried to even make a video of it. I'm like, oh, that might be a fun video. And I filmed that like a month ago, and it's like 10,000 pieces. Other things, I have a video coming soon. I took a food allergy test, and that's something that has been pretty groundbreaking in my life. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. I am so excited to make that video because I've struggled with digestive problems for a very long time. So I think that this is going to be pretty helpful for me. So I did not quit YouTube. I think it was just, I was having such a hard time that I couldn't look at YouTube. Like, I couldn't look at comments. I couldn't look at numbers. I filmed a video back in December, and then I just couldn't bring myself to edit it because I just didn't even want to like look at myself. So there's like, if you've ever done YouTube, you kind of know that feel of like, I just don't want to look at myself today. I don't want to hear myself talk. It's weird. Right after Christmas, Brandon went to Florida to visit with his family. I was originally gonna go with him. We were gonna like road trip. Thought a road trip would be better because it's like less interaction than flying. We were gonna do that whole thing, and I just mentally could not bring myself to do it. I'm still kind of disappointed in myself, but then at the same time, I think I was just trying to be safe. And, I said to him, I'm like, I would prefer if you didn't go. Also, I'm not gonna tell you to not go see your family because I understand he had these vacation days he had to use or else he was gonna lose them. And he really just went and stayed with his family, didn't go anywhere. It was fine. I was here by myself for like 3 or 4 days, and I was so bored and depressed. I was like, this is bad. I talked to myself. Okay, I was having this discussion with myself earlier. I'm like, I feel like to a degree I'm like, oh, I'm just being safe, I'm just being cautious, but then the other part of me knows that that's BS, and it's just me like hiding behind that for my own like anxious purposes. Like, I didn't want to leave the house. I still don't want to leave the house. So it's like I can say, oh, I'm too scared to go to Florida because of the pandemic, but it's just like I've become a hermit. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. It's not even just Florida. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. It's kind of sad because it's like, they got these vaccines coming out and all that, but they don't have a vaccine for the mental side of what this pandemic has caused people. And I think there's so much of that just goes undiscussed. The amount of people that are just internally struggling, like myself. I mean, I know maybe some of you guys are as well. I mean, how can you not? If you have anxiety, an anxiety disorder, you have more anxiety than the average person. It was like everything, the whole world was just going like this at me for almost a year straight, and it's just like, no, don't pay attention to this. Like, hey, I'm poking you, I'm prodding you, I'm annoying you, but don't pay attention. I don't know how you can put all this stuff out into the world and not expect me to have the reaction I've had. At first, I wasn't even that anxious about everything. I was really kind of low-key chilling. I was like, all right, well, I think because I was so anxious all the time that this just kind of felt normal. Like, oh, now everybody else is anxious like me. Not that that's a good thing. I don't want people to be anxious like me, but it was just like, oh, now the world kind of feels like how I do all the time. But now I'm like, I need to get a grip. I need to fix myself because I'm getting into like unrecognizable territory, like washing my hands constantly, wearing face shields, wearing masks all the time, even when there's like no one around. I'm afraid to go back to my gym even though it's open. Like, there's so many things where it's just like, ugh. Also, I feel like I'm doing so bad on my makeup today. What the heck? So, all right, let me try to answer questions before they are asked. People may ask, like, have we set a new date for our wedding yet? Kind of controversial, but hear me out. Brandon and I might just go get married. Like, we might just go to a courthouse and just legally get married. Everything in me did not want to do that. Everything in me for the past 4 years since we've been engaged, I didn't want to do that. I think at this point, it's kind of understandable. I don't think anybody would really blame us if we did that. If you see a video one day randomly like, hey, we got married, don't be shocked. I don't know when I'll get to have my normal wedding, like my dream wedding with family. It's looking better than it did. I mean, but Pennsylvania's guidelines are still pretty strict. I don't know how it is where you guys live. Maybe you want to let me know in the comments, because I don't really keep up to date with, I don't even really know what PA looks. I try to not look at news because it just freaks me out. So maybe let me know how things are where you are. Yeah, so like everything pertaining to getting married has sort of halted. Just, oh, I will say this is my favorite palette. So, you know, like we try to keep in touch with the wedding person. Did y'all just hear that? Or anyway, we put the security deposit down, so the venue is ours. It's just a matter of when. And I feel like this hotel lady feels so bad. I feel like she's just like, I haven't set another date. Like, I think originally we wanted it to be May of last year, and then it was July, and then it was September. So I just gave up with moving the date. I'm like, I'm not gonna set it, because imagine if I would have set it for like March. It's like, there's no way in hell that we'd be getting married, a normal wedding in March. I was sick of the disappointment, in all honesty. I just couldn't do it to myself anymore. And I'm sure y'all probably get it. People eventually stopped asking me about it. It's hard. And I feel this sort of like resentment when I see other people getting married. Whether it's like now or even in the past, I'm just sort of like, I just sort of resent it almost, because I'm just so mad that I don't get to have that normal experience. Because even when it does finally happen, it's just like, you know, I have to fight like hell to get this thing that is just so normal to other people, and it's just ugh. And I also feel kind of stupid where it's like, I've been engaged for 4 years. Obviously I can't tell the future, but hindsight, it's like, I wish I would have just got married like last year. Well, now it's 2021. Hi, Happy New Year. I wish I would have got married in like 2019. It was just hard when, yeah, Brandon was working on the road back then. Brandon used to build cremators. I'm like, just take me to work and just throw me in one, please. I don't know how I'm liking my makeup today. Me every day. What else did I want to talk about? Also, I apologize if you follow me on Twitter. I literally turned it into like a stock Twitter account. I've been getting into like the stock market and just trying to like invest some money. I think I've made like $100 in the past week, which is not fabulous, but it's not terrible. I've missed you guys. I've missed just like sitting and catching up with you guys. I want to do more like makeup-y videos. I got a really good idea. I wanted to do a video where I sort of take you guys back in time to when I was in high school and just set the whole tone of me getting ready. Like, get ready with me. 2011, senior year, high school. We can listen to 303 and eat bagels. Guys, I'm going back to 2011. Do you need anything? Let me know before I go. I will briefly just touch on the topic that I overshared about in my other video. I overshare too much. I'm sorry. I think it's just because it's like been so long since I've caught up with you guys. I sort of just have had these thoughts because it's like, oh, you know, Brandon and I are gonna get married, and then I feel like people are gonna ask like, oh, when are you gonna have kids? And like, we've gotten those questions a lot. And I did a video even a couple years ago, like, you know, why I may never have a baby, and I think I've just come to the conclusion that I don't want to have a baby. And so I think that's definitely its own video. I've definitely spoken on it in the past. If you even remember, I don't expect you to remember everything I say. That's asking a lot. I just think for myself personally, I can't see myself doing it. All these years I said to Brandon, like, I don't want to have a baby, I don't want to do that. And I think in his mind, he was reading that as like, oh, I don't want to have kids ever. But to me, it's just like, I haven't put the thought of like adoption off the table. And like, I watch people that like do foster care, and I'm like I wouldn't be totally against maybe even looking into it. Like, it doesn't have to be a definite, but although I brought up the idea of fostering to Brandon, and he's like, I don't want to get attached to someone and then they leave. And I'm like, I do. I'm kind of used to that though, because I've had so many people that I've grown so close to just like leave abruptly. So I've had to like put that somewhere, and it's hard. It's hard when you once loved somebody. F that song from Toy Story 2, Jessie, because that song is actually me about like everyone I've ever met. But y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I mean, it's just all these super deep personal realizations while I've been off the internet. Like, what am I gonna do with my life? Ooh, okay, that's actually like coming together now that I'm like blending it out more. Trust the process, guys. I know I've looked rough for like the first half of this video. You know, like, I'm an adult. I'm 27. And I feel like before I felt too young to even talk about like, oh, like, do I want kids? Like, it felt weird for me to talk about like having babies or like adopting or like anything pertaining to being a super adult. But it's like, I'm old enough to talk about that, and that's like so weird. I think I just want to be smart for myself, and I have to take care of my mental and physical health first and foremost before anything, and I think that's what I've been trying to do, especially since I've been offline. Oh, did y'all notice my hair is not silver anymore? My botched silver hair job from my last video is already all washed out. That's how long it's been since I've seen you. The last I saw you, I was doing my roots, and now my roots are grown out. Wow, I've neglected our relationship. I'm sorry. Do we want period horror stories? Do we want story times? Deep personal videos about, you know, not wanting children, things that are vulnerable? Do y'all want to see me like get my driver's license? Like, do y'all want to see Brandon and I go get married at the courthouse? Like, I don't know. So what do you want to see? Courthouse marriage vlog? I never wanted to be that person that said I did that. And no offense if you did that, but I always thought it was like a bad omen or something. Brandon and I have been together for almost 8 years. Oh my gosh, and this morning I was talking to my Nana. She was kind of asking me like how Brandon and I even met, and it was taking me down memory lanes. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I kind of forgot actually. She's like, wait, did he find you or did you find him? I kind of want to do like an in-depth like story time with Brandon, just talking about how we met and how those first few interactions went, because we did meet online. If you're relatively new here, we met on Instagram. It's just a weird story. Like, I'm pretty sure he even found me when I still had a boyfriend. I'll just follow, I'll just hang around, I don't know. I'm gonna need a full timeline. It's a lot to follow. Oh, it's also like been weird. Oh, and this is how I sharpen my eyeliner, watch this. It works. Oh, my mom's calling me.
Ask B if he has like a good seasoning, like a Cajun, some kind of seasoning.
Oh yeah,
Shrimp on the grill.
he'll hook you up. Nana, she's like crazy. She's like, you should go to Virginia with your mom and elope. Are you out of your mind? She was so excited too. We might just go to the courthouse though, honestly, but...
Are you gonna like not tell anyone and then just have your wedding?
I mean, I guess we could tell people. It's not gonna be like that big of a deal, but we'll still have our wedding.
You're wearing that dress.
Oh yes, I will wear that dress even if it's to my funeral.
You're gonna wear it as a nightgown, you're gonna wear it to do the dishes, you're wearing it everywhere.
Whoops. I kind of low-key want to get back into filming like favorites videos. You remember like when everybody used to do like monthly favorites? I just saw Pink Sparkles do one and I'm like, girl, like I kind of miss doing this. They're kind of like little mini time capsules for me, honestly, because I like looking back at what I liked. So let me know if you think I should bring back the favorites. I could do that, especially now that I want to be more proactive with posting. But you know, if y'all don't want to see it, I won't do it. Or I could do it on my second channel, Dontbeasadpanda 2. But just let a girl know. I do. Oh. This is so embarrassing. I did attempt to do Vlogmas this year, and I have like the lost Vlogmas, and I might still just upload it. But I don't know, December was just hard for me in particular. It was just, I was like so excited for Christmas because of how bad 2020 was, and then it was just like anticlimactic, and then it was over. My mental health was so bad. My mom had like a mini get together on Christmas Eve with a few people, and I was just freaking out in the car and I couldn't bring myself to go in. And then I ended up crying inside in front of people that, like, I don't like crying in front of people. For someone that has cried on YouTube so many times, y'all probably think I'm full of crap. In my real life, I do not like crying in front of people. I think this is where a lot of my social phobia kind of comes from, because when I was a kid, I used to always cry on my first day of school. I think I was just so afraid of the embarrassment of crying that it made me afraid to go to school. Because like if somebody asks me like, oh, what's wrong? I would just look upset, you know? Like if somebody says, what's wrong, or are you okay? Like I'm just gonna burst into tears. So it was like me crossing my fingers all day that nobody would say anything to me. I mean, low-key why I'm refilming this Get Ready With Me is because I cried in it, and I'm like, I don't want to cry in every single video I post. So pretty sure I cried in the last 2 videos I posted, and I'm like, girl, I'm better than that. And I know life isn't always super happy, and sometimes we have lows and we have to just get stuff off our chest, but I'm like, girl, I'm sitting here doing my makeup. I don't need to be crying right now. I do feel better, and you'll hear more about that in my allergy test video. Just been trying to be more mindful of how I'm treating myself mentally and physically, and I don't know how I'm talking while doing eyeliner. Could you imagine if like you had to do your eyeliner while you're presenting a project at school? I always used to skip the days at school where it was like presentation day. I used to always stay home. I'm just like, couldn't be me. I think I'll do like some gold in the crease. I have just realized lately that if something does not make me genuinely happy, I'm not going to act as though I'm okay with it. I'm not going to be on here trying to be something that I'm not. And I feel like a lot of YouTube is just so fake nowadays. Like I got to this weird side of YouTube because I saw this thing. It was like, oh, people passing out on amusement park rides. And to me, it's so funny because it happens to me. So Brandon and I were watching people faint. All of the recommended videos were like passing out pranks, prank on my boyfriend, I'm passed out in the bathroom. And I'm just like, bitch, what the fuck? What is this? I don't even want to act like I'm some kind of saint. Like, I hate saying like, I would never do that. But like, I don't think I could ever do that. I'd feel too bad because I know how scared I would be if somebody scared me like that. Ugh. Oh, I really like messed this up. Yeah, I think I kind of just hate how fake YouTube has become nowadays. And I know people are like, oh, everything's so fake, but like I genuinely feel that way. I feel like everything is so clickbaity and like drama centered, because like I used to just do like grocery hauls and monthly favorites and candy hauls with Brandon. Like, can I just like bring all that back? There's some things that I'm just like, I feel I just don't want to be a part of it. I also have like these episodes of like, I want to be a singer, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a stockbroker. I'm a day trader, y'all. I bought like Dogecoin and I'm like, yeah, I'm stonks. Let me give y'all a little bit of advice as we end this video here. You have to take care of yourself first and foremost. Sometimes it's harder not to take care of yourself, even though you think taking care of yourself is gonna be hard. I had to make like diet changes and just like what I surround myself with and all of these sorts of things. Like I was noticing things having a negative impact on me, and it can be everything, like even the music you listen to, the stuff you watch, the people you're around, how you talk. And like I was just catching myself like being so negative, and I said to Brandon, I'm like, I don't want to talk this way. It's so easy to just sit and talk shit and just be like negative, but it takes such a toll on you. And I think that was part of like my reason for taking a bit of a hiatus, was because I'm like, I need to just unplug, focus on me and like what's going on with me and how I feel. And YouTube wasn't making me happy 2-3 months ago. My channel's like been in a decline, I don't get views, and it's just like, you know, my 15 minutes of fame are over, and I kind of just had to deal with that fact. This channel's my baby, and it doesn't really matter how good or bad it is. I still love it. Highlight bitch. I mean, it feels good to be back. I'm glad to see you guys. I want to just apologize for my absence. I'm thankful to those of you that still take an interest in me and my life. So I guess I will just end this here. I'm going to try to at least post once a week until I can get back into a groove. Just drop all your suggestions, maybe your thoughts about anything I had mentioned. Here's all my socials if you want to keep up with me when I'm not on YouTube. So yeah, I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs, love you guys.